Hi guys, welcome back. This is Two Moms in a Pod. I'm Ari.
And I'm Kim.
This is episode 9?
9, yeah.
We should do something special for episode 10.
Yeah, we should.
Should we bring in our significant other?
Maybe we'll have our famous husbands, the ones we've been talking about for the last couple weeks.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll think about it.
Yeah. Anyways, I watched a documentary called It's Not So Pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it's called. It's on HBO Max.
What is it about?
It's a documentary about products we use. So the first episode, I think it's makeup. I was like, oh, maybe I'll tell Kim to watch it. But then I'm like, oh, she doesn't wear makeup.
Mm-hmm.
But then as I saw more, they talk about like skincare and like shampoo and conditioner and nail stuff. And I'm like, oh, maybe she will like it.
She showers. I hope she uses shampoo and conditioner.
No. No, I didn't mean it
I
like
showered.
that.
Do you want to smell my hair?
No, I didn't mean it like that. I just meant, you don't use makeup. So, because I thought the whole thing was about
just makeup. Yeah.
No, but it talks about other things besides makeup.
She has to use something.
Yeah, it's called Not So Pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks about makeup, nails, skin, and hair.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen TikToks and stuff of I just know that everything we use has horrible chemicals and just bad things in them. But I also choose to be ignorant about these things because I'm like, it's already there. We spent money on it. But I would like to be more I guess vigilant of that kind of stuff. Yeah,
I only thought about you when they were talking about the skin episode because this girl was trying to conceive with her husband, but they couldn't because that would make his sperm count very low. So they were struggling to conceive, and later they found out that it had to do a lot with the products they use.
Oh my god.
So then him and his wife started going through other things like their shampoo, their lotions, even their body sprays and everything.
Yeah.
Anything that contained fragrance on it, like on the ingredients on the back, they got rid of. Because they said that the companies are not required to list what the fragrance, what's in the ingredients for the fragrance. So they just put fragrance.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the things that the fragrance has is chemicals.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And all that stuff goes into our
gets
skin,
soaked into our skin, pores and stuff,
into our blood and everything.
Yeah. That's crazy. But
yeah, I thought it was an interesting thing.
Yeah.
For you to watch.
I'll probably watch
it. For anyone that's listening.
Yeah, I need something new to watch. We just finished The Bear on HBO because you said HBO on Hulu. Yeah. It's called The Bear. Did you ever watch the show Shameless?
No.
Damn. It's because it's one of the main guys from Shameless is the main guy in The Bear. It's about it's really, really good. It's super intense though. He's a cook. He takes over his brother's restaurant. And he's kind of just like his brother. The way he ran it was super just not smart, and he owed money to people, and his brother ends up with the restaurant because his brother ended up killing himself. Yeah. And so he leaves the restaurant to his brother, to his younger brother, and it's kind of him just trying to get the restaurant to be successful and things like that. But it's such a good show. It's really, really interesting. But I would get so much anxiety watching it because it's just he's trying so hard to work with these people, and they're people that have been there for a long time, so they're very much set in their ways. Yeah. So it's and then they'll mess with him, they'll take his knives, or they'll just not follow his directions. So it's like people are constantly like yelling at each other, and it's just like a lot going on at the same time. But it's called The Bear. It's on Hulu. It's really, really good.
I should watch it. I need something new to watch. That was all we did. Just watch shows.
Just watch shows and be moms.
Like, what's the toughest things
about being moms?
Yeah, being moms. And
because as much as we love our kids and like as grateful as we are for them, being a mom is so hard. Being a parent in general is just so hard.
And then on top of that, you know, like having a life outside being a mom and caring for our significant other and siblings and, you know, just life in general.
Yeah.
It's a lot to deal with.
Yeah, it's kind of, you have to be something for everybody.
Yeah.
You have to be a mom, you have to be a partner, you have to be a sister, you have to be, you know, just something for everybody.
Yeah.
So then it's kind of like, well, what's left for us?
Nothing.
Yeah. But so what do you think, because Leah's obviously younger than Ollie. What do you think's been the toughest thing for you so far?
For me, I think it was during the time that she was teething.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, when she was a newborn, I think what we struggled with was her sleeping pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, you're a first-time mom, you're first-time parents, and, you know, babies don't have a schedule yet.
Yeah.
And you don't know how to comfort them or what works for them to put them back to sleep.
Yeah.
So, the hardest for us was just being able to put her back to sleep and waking up at every hour in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And just being so exhausted. And I think there was a time we were taking turns, like feeding her and putting her to sleep, but then after a while I was doing everything.
Yeah.
Because he was going to work.
Yeah.
And then I felt like I have to do it because he has to wake up in a few hours and he needs his rest for work.
Yeah.
So once he went back to work, I took on that responsibility of waking up whenever she wakes up, changing her in the middle of the night and feeding her in the middle of the night. And, you know, just me letting him sleep so he could rest.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the hardest in the beginning. And then now as she's getting older, I think the second hardest was her teething stage, because I didn't know what to give her to help her with the pain. And, you know, as much as I tried to offer her something, she just wouldn't take it.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I was doing something wrong. And I felt horrible because I knew she was in pain and I just didn't know how to help her go through that pain.
You didn't. Yeah, it's the whole, like, you don't know. You feel kind of helpless because it's like, I know it hurts, but I also am offering you these things and you're not taking them. So it's like, it's a lot of stress. Yeah.
What about you?
I feel like for me, for like when Ollie was a newborn, the first month was so hard. Oh my god, it was so hard because Ollie had really bad colic. She had really, really bad colic. And
what's that for the listeners that don't know?
It's, I think when they get like really bad gas and like it kind of gets stuck, like, so they have stomach pains. I think it's like, I guess it's when they don't burp enough or when they don't release enough gas, and it causes them like pain. And for Ollie, it was basically her first month, and it was for some reason for her it would always be in like the middle of the night. So she would be so good throughout the day, and then for some reason just like around like 2 a.m. 1 a.m. 2 a.m. she would just wake up screaming, and like I felt helpless. Like we didn't know what to do. Like we would rock her, we would change her, we would see if she was hungry, we would try to burp her, and like she would just scream, and it was so hard to like, it was so stressful, you know, because like you're trying to like soothe her and she's just screaming, and you're trying all of these things to like get her to calm down. And then we're obviously tired because again, it's the newborn stage, so you're waking up every 2 hours to feed her anyways, so like you're exhausted. And then in that first month, like you're still healing, us moms, like we're still physically healing. So like it's that, and then it's just like obviously an enormous change, so like getting used to a new sleeping schedule is so hard. And but for us it was Ollie's colic, and how like badly she would like scream and cry, and how like helpless I felt, because I felt like no matter what I did, I couldn't comfort her. And then eventually I started to like find I was looking up different ways to burp her to like make sure that I would get enough gas out. And so I ended up finding like a method that seemed to help more with her, which is instead of just like carrying her and tapping her back and burping her, I would sit her and I'd hold her from like her chin, and I'd lean her forward, and I'd burp her. And then I started doing these things where you lay her down and you like move her legs and like kind of doing bicycles.
Motorcycle.
Bicycles. So I would move her legs like she was riding a bicycle, and then I would stretch them, and then I'd push them. So then she would always fart. So it got better like once I started to like look up things that would help. And then it was also because I was overfeeding her, because I guess what they had recommended me for was if I was breastfeeding her. But because I didn't produce enough milk, we were formula feeding her. And when you're formula feeding them, it's every 3 hours, as opposed to when you're breastfeeding, it's every 2 hours. And so once like I like talked to her doctor was like, you're overfeeding her, like feed her every 3 hours. So that helped a lot too. And then that kind of allowed us to sleep a little longer in the night, was because we were now feeding her every 3 hours. And then
the bottles too, right? You changed her feeding bottles?
I changed her feeding bottles, because in the beginning she was drinking out of the ready to use bottles. So it's already formula made, you just throw on the nipple and then you feed them. But we ended up getting her different bottles with a little this little like green thing that was supposed to like catch
all the air bubbles,
which that ended up helping a lot too. But and then I think it got really hard when Caesar went back to work too, because it was that whole same thing of like I would literally like stay up with her almost till like 5 a.m. because I was so scared that she was gonna start crying and wake him up. And so I would like literally sit there with her sometimes until like 4 or 5 a.m. until I knew she was like asleep, and then I could put her down. And the newborn stage was hard. It was so hard.
I know, especially like getting in the groove of their sleeping schedule. But I remember the beginning was tough when they're newborns, and just getting used to their sleeping schedule. It was tough. Well, on me. I don't think it was that tough on my husband. Maybe in the beginning when he was helping, but after he had gone to work, he didn't really have to do much with her at night. But
the sacrifices we make,
right? Just so they could get enough sleep.
I know. And then because Caesar drives for work, so that's why I was like super like worried about keeping him up too late. But it was hard. It was definitely like a huge adjustment, was to like finally like, and then I didn't know that like so like after the first month she started pretty much sleeping through the night. But I didn't know that once they get back to their birth weight, like you can let them sleep through the night. Like I didn't know that. And so I was still the one, I was waking her up every 3 hours to feed her.
Oh really?
Until one of her appointments, I think it was like a little bit before I went back to work, and I asked the doctor like, oh, when am I okay to just let her sleep through the night, because she's not waking up like I'm waking her up. And the doctor's like, you can let her sleep through the night, like if she wakes up, then feed her, but if she's not waking up, she's at a good weight, like she's gaining weight really good, so you can just let her sleep through the night. And that was like right before I went back to work.
Oh wow.
So I got super lucky, because once I went back to work, like, she was already, like, sleeping through the night.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would let you sleep then.
Yeah. But I think now where she's getting to the stage where, like, she can obviously, like, walk and, like, run.
Yeah.
And now going out in public is hard. Like, going places with her is starting to be hard.
Oh, because she could take off at any
because
time.
She doesn't want to be in her stroller anymore.
Yeah.
Like, she wants to get down. And I remember it was recently. It was like 3 weeks ago. She had her first tantrum in the store. Oh no. My God. I remember before I was a mom, I would judge moms to be like, oh my God, get your kid under control.
Yeah.
But, like, this was the first time she had ever asked to get off the cart.
Yeah.
And we were at Target, and I even, like, I was like, don't, like, let's not get her off the cart, because she asked. And I was like, let's see if she'll stay in the basket. So we tried to put her in the basket, but then she literally kept standing up trying to get out. And then we were like, okay, well, like, maybe she'll be okay.
Yeah.
And then Caesar was like, just take her down. And so I took her down, and then she, like, ran off. And so I literally had to chase her. And then, like, it's not her fault. Like, she's still at an age where she, like, she's in, like, yeah, she's, like, in that middle ground where, like, she wants to be independent, but she also doesn't understand too much when we're telling her she can't do something.
Yeah. So
I kept telling her, like, you can walk, but you have to hold mommy's hand.
Yeah.
And she tried for a little bit, but she was holding my hand, but she kept wanting to go in the opposite direction.
Oh.
So I was hoping, hey, like, if I have her walk, as long as she's walking with me, like, that's fine. But she kept wanting to go in the opposite direction. And so I kept trying to pull her the way we were supposed to go. And she started crying. And she started screaming.
Oh, no.
And, like, screaming bad. And me and Caesar were looking at each other like, what do we do?
Yeah.
And, like, when we got out of there, we were both, like, legit sweating. Really? Because we didn't know what to do. We're like, he's like, okay, well, you go get the stuff, I'll try to distract her. But then she just wants to run everywhere, and we're, like, trying to reason with her.
Yeah.
And, like, it's the first time she had ever thrown a tantrum in public. So I tried so hard to, like, just, like, stay calm.
Yeah.
And, like, not, I feel like I can't, like, I can't react, because then if I come off stressed or something, maybe that'll make her react.
Yeah.
So we tried, both of us, to stay extremely, extremely calm and kind of just, like, talk to her and be like, try to distract her. So we ended up, like, after I could literally hear her screaming from, like, aisles down, like, we, like, distracted her with like, stickers. And so, like, now we really have to try to distract her. So we're in that stage where, like, it's starting to become hard to, like, go places.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
That must have sucked.
Yeah.
I know, because Target people are usually white people.
Yes, they are.
And, you know, they can be very judgmental. And, you know, they give you, like, the dirtiest look. And sometimes, you know, I understand if they don't have kids. So they don't really understand what it's like.
Yeah.
But, like, come on. Like, really? Do you have to give me that dirty look?
Yeah, it's like, oh, yes, I'm here by choice having my toddler scream her head off. Like, I really want to be here doing this in public. Like, this is my choice that she's screaming her head off. I'm just ignoring her. Like, no, like, we're trying to do everything we can to, like, not, but they're kids too. Like, we have, like, I have to get it in my head that, like, she's a kid and she's experiencing emotions, and she doesn't yet know how to process those emotions. And, like, if she wants something, she's obviously gonna scream, because it's like, that's all she knows what to do. You know.
And I think when you see people judging, it adds more
pressure. Stress.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm not under enough stress with my toddler. I need you to judge me. I need you to give me a dirty look. Yes, I appreciate that, Karen. No, and then that same day, we were gonna get Chipotle. And Caesar's like, you just go, I'll wait in the car with her. And then, like, as I was, like, leaving Chipotle, I heard a kid screaming, and then I saw a mom, and I was like, oh my god, I sympathize with you so badly. It's okay. So I just want to tell, now I want to tell, like, moms struggling, like, it's okay, mama, you got it.
Yeah.
Just breathe, stay calm.
I know.
As much as you don't want to.
I know, like, I've seen TikToks or videos where these women that are first-time moms, they say, like, oh, I remember I would judge a mom because her kid would do this, or I would see she would have like a dirty car seat or something. Mm-hmm. And now her having a kid should be like, I understand. Yes. And I sympathize with them, and I feel so bad for judging.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie, that was me. When I was younger, I'd see, like, kids throwing tantrums, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, control your kid, or, like, take them outside. But I get it now.
It's hard.
Yeah. It's so hard. And then it's like, it's so hard because you're the parent and you're supposed to keep calm, but it's like, how do you keep calm with a screaming child? Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's this line of, like, you also don't want to give in to whatever they want.
Yeah.
But then you have to understand that they're not doing things on purpose. Yeah. Like, she's not purposely, like, being like, I want to run off. She's just like, I'm a kid, I want to explore. I want to, because she knows she can walk, because sometimes we let her walk, she's kind of just like, well, why is this bad? If you let me walk when we go on walks, why am I not walking in the store?
Yeah.
Or it's like, I want to go this way, why are you not coming with me? Mm-hmm. But she's still too young to understand, like, hey, we have particular ways that we have to do things, you know? So it's hard to, like, keep your emotions in check.
Yeah.
While having a toddler whose emotions are everywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I think, the same. Going out in public and just letting her do her own thing.
Yeah.
Like, I remember going to a restaurant. I think we went with his family. Mm-hmm. And she just wouldn't sit still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just going out with her. It's just hard. Mm-hmm. Because, they're babies and they want to explore everything. Mm-hmm. And it's just hard for them to understand, like, no, right now we're sitting to eat. Yeah. And you can't be playing around.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the hardest thing to do, going out with the baby. I don't have a particular memory of, like, us going out, but I remember, like, every time we do go out, it's just hard for her to sit and eat dinner with us.
Yeah.
Because she wants to be held, or she wants to pull something, or she just doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
So it's just hard.
Yeah, and it's because they don't know. They're just like, why do I have to sit still here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I feel like before, I was always like, oh, I'm not gonna let her be on her, like, I never want, like, before we actually had her, I was like, I don't want to get her an iPad, I don't want to do too much screen time, and this and that, and, like, I'm not gonna lie, she uses her iPad a lot now. Especially, like, when, like, we don't go to restaurants very often because it's, like, hard, but when we're in a restaurant, I give her iPad. Because it's like, I'm sorry, I'd rather be judged for, like, giving her an iPad than, like, the judge of, like, people seeing her scream her head off because she wants to get down.
Yeah.
And then even then, like, even sometimes with her iPad, like, she still is like, I don't want to be on my iPad, like, I want to get down.
Tired.
Yeah. Like, when we went to the mall, I kept saying, like, do you want mommy's phone? Like, I kept trying to give her my phone, and she's like, I want to get down, I want to get down. And but it's like, they don't understand that, like, they can't at this very moment. Yeah But, like, that's, I think when it comes to, like, her, that part of being a mom or being a parent, like, it's just that, like, her like, getting her to understand things, because it's like, she's so small too, like, so I kind of have to remind myself, like, she's small, she's barely learning, like, be patient with her,
Yeah, it's definitely tough, especially, going out, and then I was one of those parents too, where I was like, I'm not gonna let her use my phone. Like, she's too little to be on the phone.
Yeah.
To be on YouTube watching videos. But
yeah,
that's the only thing that keeps them distracted
enough. Yeah.
And, you know, like, good for you if you've been able to keep your child off screen time.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's hard.
Yeah.
And if that helps, then that helps.
Yeah.
You know, like,
and
no
then,
judgment.
Yeah, and then to, like, even back it up, like, Ollie has learned a lot from, like, a lot of the stuff she watches.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, yeah, of course, she still watches just, like, random videos. But for the most part, I've tried to, like, make sure that she watches, she watches Miss Rachel a lot. That's how she learned how to sign done. She learned how to sign milk. And she learned how to sign more.
Yeah.
And it's through Miss Rachel, through the YouTube videos, or she's kind of learning how to sign the alphabet because of this one song where it's like see it, sign it, no, see it, say it, sign it. And it's this guy who, like, sings it, and he also signs the letters, and she's over here, like, trying to, like, sign the letters.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's like it's a lot of both. It's a lot of, like, I try to get her to watch, like, things that are going to teach her stuff. But yeah, she also does, like, come upon, like, just videos of, like, kids playing, or like, you know, just, like, channels like that. But, you know, to, I guess, justify the screen time. Not that I need to, because if I want to let my child play on her iPad, she'll play on her iPad. But for all those judgmental people, she's still learning things. She's learning.
Yeah, with Leah too. Like, I've only let her watch Miss Rachel because I know her channels, her videos are very educational, and they keep her entertained. And from watching Miss Rachel, she learned how to wave hi and bye.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, like, from the songs that she would sing, I learned to sing those songs.
Yeah.
And I would sing them to her when she's not on my phone.
Yeah.
Like, I learned the open, shut them. And I would sing it to her, and I would do the hand gestures. And from there, she learned how to do open, shut them.
Yeah.
And now she knows when I'm singing open, shut them, she'll clap right after. And, you know, little things like that. It's like, okay, maybe for her to be on my phone watching Miss Rachel is okay, because she's learning
something. Yeah.
So that gives me a little
comfort
knowing that she's learning from YouTube or watching Miss Rachel, as to, like, just letting her watch whatever she wants and not learning something.
Yeah. And I feel like that's also such a, it's such a hard thing about being a parent, because it's like, no matter what you do, people are going to judge it and tell you you're wrong for it. Like, whether you breastfeed or you formula feed, whether you co-sleep or you don't co-sleep, whether you let them on their iPad or you don't let them on their iPad. Like, people are just going to judge your parenting no matter what. And that's so hard, because it's like, I already have my own internal pressure, and I already have my own, like, my own mind telling me, like, oh, you should be spending more time with her, or oh, you shouldn't be letting her on her iPad, or you should be feeding her better, or you should, like, I already have that nagging voice in my head telling me that, like, I'm not doing good enough, you know. So then to see all of these, like, how people judge other people, it's like, damn, like, if I go out in public, are people judging me? So it's like, it's so hard to be a parent, because it's like, you want to do what's best for your kid, but that can also be so different. Like, what's best for my kid can be so different than what's best for your kid, you know. And I think that's, like, the hardest thing, is just, like, trying your best to, like, provide, and, like, just trying to raise your kid to the best of your ability. And I feel like that's kind of how I try to justify it. It's like, I'm doing the very best that I can do. Like, I'm doing, like, she's happy, she's healthy, she's getting so freaking tall. So it's like,
and she's learning.
Yeah,
like,
she's so smart. Every day. Yeah. So it's like, I guess that's kind of just how not that I need to justify my parenting to anybody, but at the same time, like, you feel like you kind of do. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like no matter what I say, I feel like I have to justify it, you know, why I'm doing it, you know? And it's hard. It's so hard. So, like, it's hard to know, like, what we're doing is right in the moment, and then we find out that, like, it's not right, you know, down the line. There's just so much pressure with, like, being moms and, like, well, being a parent, I guess, in general. But I feel like being moms, we kind of, I feel like we're expected to know more.
Yeah.
We're expected to
know everything.
Yeah.
You know, like, if she's crying, we need to know why she's crying.
Yeah.
If she's not doing this, we need to know why she's not doing that.
Yeah. And we also need to know, like, does she have enough diapers? Does she have enough wipes? Does she have enough anything? And it's like, so we're supposed to know everything that she needs. We're supposed to know everything that, like, just material things that she needs, but also, like, developmentally what she needs. And, like, yeah, the whole, like, why is she crying? I don't know. Like, we're sitting here at the same time, and she starts crying, and then you're asking me why she's crying, but it's like, she just started crying.
Yeah.
And, like, recently she's been doing that where, like, she kind of just, she's been getting a little more fussy, and I think she might be going through a growth spurt.
Oh, okay.
Because she's been eating a lot more, she's been wanting a lot more milk, and then she's been, like, really, really fussy right now. And, like, she'll legit just start crying. And then, like, the other day, I was with her on the bed, and then she literally just started crying. And then Caesar walks in, and he's like, why is she crying? And I'm like, I don't know, she just started crying. Or it's like, you've been here the last couple of days, you know that right now she just randomly starts crying, you know? And, like, I try not to get upset about it, because, like, I guess because we're the moms, they, like, see it as, like, we're supposed to know more, but it's also, like, we're here at the exact same time.
Yeah.
You saw this happen, and this at the same time I did. Why are you asking me why it's happening?
Yeah.
Because if you don't know, there's a good chance I don't know either.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that's kind of a hard thing that I've had to kind of just realize, or kind of just make peace with, is that, like, we're kind of looked at as like the ones who are supposed to know everything,
the answer to everything.
Yes,
like,
we have the answer. Yeah, we have to have the answer to everything. But then if I ask him and I'm like, what do you think? He's like, I don't know. But if I say I don't know, it's a problem.
Yeah.
So it's like, why is it okay for you to say I don't know, but it's not okay for me to say I don't know?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I'm learning. I have as much experience being a parent as you do. Because she came into this world at the exact same time for you as she did for me.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, neither of us have been parents before.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, I'm trying. I'm really, really trying here, you know?
So, do you think that changed your relationship with your significant other?
Yeah, I think, especially because it's like, becoming a parent comes with its so many stressors. It comes with so much pressure. It comes with so much expectations, I think. And it's the whole, like, I can't get mad at her, so I get mad at him.
Yeah.
He can't lose his patience with her, but he could lose his patience with me.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, it was kind of a joke in the beginning where he's like, I think all of my patience went from you to her. But it's also like, it's not really a joke, because I feel like that's true.
Yeah.
You know, all of our patience, we have all the patience that we can manage with her. So then that leaves no patience for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's been a hard thing to, like, kind of realize and kind of adjust to, is like the stressors of being a parent, how much the stressors of being a parent affects your relationship with your partner.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's been, like, a huge thing to, like...
Yeah, because both of you are learning at the same time, but I feel like they, like we've said before, they expect us to know, to have the answer to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, we're both learning as we go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is the pressure of me knowing everything, you know, just on me?
Yeah.
You know, like, we both spend the same amount of time with her. Well,
Mm-hmm.
especially for you guys, you know, because
yeah.
both of you work full-time. But yeah, I spend a lot more time with Leah than he does, but
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't mean I should have the answer to everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, why am I expected to know everything? Like, why do I need to tell you, hey, we ran out of wipes?
Yeah.
Like, hey, she needs more diapers. Like, why couldn't you take the initiative of being like, hey, you know, she's running low on wipes. We need to make a run to the store.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not fair for us to
be the default parent.
Yeah, like, be the parent to remind you, like, she needs more wipes. Or, like, be the parent to remind you that, you know, we don't have enough fruit or vegetables to feed her.
Yeah.
You know, like, or anything at all. It's like, it's not fair.
Yeah. Yeah, and, like, I think it's, like, we're not saying that they have to know all the answers. I think it's just about communicating and, like, I think on their part realizing that, like, we're supposed to be in this together, and we're coming into this at the same level. Yeah. We're coming into this both brand new, and it's not fair to be expected to know everything. You know, I think that's the hardest part, is like, why are we expected to know everything? Or like, why am I the one to have to take her to her doctor's appointment every single time?
Yeah, or
you
remember
know, or remember that she needs a doctor's appointment, or like, because I've been the one to take her every single time, and it's like, that's hard on me too. Like, I don't like having to be the only one to hold her down while she's getting a shot. Like, can we split that? Can I take her one time and then you take her the next time?
Yeah.
So that you know how horrible it feels, because that it feels so horrible to like do that. And then it's also like, now, like, I'm the one taking the day off work, or I'm the one leaving work early, and it's just like, I think it would be better if, like, we switch off, because then it's not just me, and then I'm not the only one getting told at work, like, hey, you're taking a lot of time off. So it's also that added pressure of like, well, my daughter needs her doctor's appointments, but work needs me to be there, and it's just like, so I have the pressure of like being a mom, being an employee, being a partner, and it's like, that's a lot to have to deal with, you know.
And then, I don't know, I think dealing with all that pressure, I think sometimes it could take a toll on our relationship with our significant other. And I don't know, I feel like, well, for me, like, sometimes I feel like I need a little bit of more help. Like, I do get the help, don't get me wrong, he's great at, you know, taking her on when going through like a period of me being mentally exhausted. You know, he'll take her, but then there's times where I'm like, you know, like, sometimes I'm not feeling like myself, and I need you to take her for a little more time than I, you know, asked for. And just, you know, shifting from being a mom to a partner is hard. And, you know, just making time for yourself to feel like yourself again. Like, like I said before I would get ready, you know, like, I would do my makeup, I would do my hair, I would try to dress nicely. Now I don't, because I feel like all my energy has gone to making sure my daughter is changed, making sure my daughter has everything she needs in her backpack, making sure, you know, that both my husband and my daughter are ready to go out that door. And it doesn't give me time to look for an outfit. And then, you know, going back to saying what I had said before, you know, our body changed. And having time to look for an outfit that fits us. It's like, I don't have that time. And I wish I would have that time. And sometimes I do feel pressured from my husband that we need to be out the door by a certain time. So I don't even try to feel like myself anymore because I don't have the time to look for an outfit, or I don't have the time to do my hair. I don't have the time to do my makeup. So half of the time I walk out the door in jeans that fit me, or baggy jeans, or biker shorts and a baggy t-shirt, or with my hair up in a bun, or with my at least decently done my hair, and at least drawn in my eyebrows. Like, I don't even try to curl my eyelashes, or at least do eyeliner. Nothing. Like, I don't have the time to do that anymore. And it just sucks because I feel like I'm losing myself slowly, and again, it ends up to me not having energy for my significant other when he needs that attention from me. And I don't know, I just feel like being a mom takes a huge toll on us, and it's a huge responsibility on us, and it would just be nice to have a little bit of more help, like, even though we do get the help, just getting a little extra more help.
And then it's hard because it's like, we also have to like take on the responsibility of like not only keeping our feelings in check, but now having to like not hurt our partner's feelings, when it comes to like telling them what we need. And it's like, I'm not saying you're doing a bad job, because you're not. Like, Caesar is the most amazing dad. Like, he is so good with her, and he does so much for her. And yes, like, now there's things that he does that I don't do, because it's like we're trying to like handle different things, because it's like I never want to come off like he doesn't help me, because he does. He helps me very much, but it's hard to ask for more help, because then it's taken as, oh, I'm not doing enough. And it's like, no, I've never said you're not doing enough, because you are. But it's also some days I need a little bit more. And then especially like when we're dealing with like, our body, like you said, our body changed so much. So it's like I'm dealing with not only like being a mom, but I'm also dealing with my self-image. I'm dealing with how I see my body. I'm dealing with like the physical aspect of it, and like how much I don't feel like myself. How much I mentally don't feel like myself. And it's like, like, and then it's very hard, because it's also like we chose to become moms. We wanted to be moms, and it almost makes you feel guilty for feeling exhausted, or feeling like it's too much, because it's like, well, I wanted her. I'm gonna start crying again. No. But it's like, I wanted her, and I love her so much, but I'm also so tired. I'm so tired. And I don't know how to, I guess, say that in a way where I don't hurt his feelings, or where I don't feel like, I don't want her to ever feel like I didn't want her, because I do. Like, I tried so hard to have her. So it's like, it's a hard thing to navigate, to like try to have time for ourselves, which is why we started doing this, is so that we could have time for ourselves, time with our friends, like to have time with each other. But it's also, the whole time that I'm away from her, I feel guilty about it. So it's hard to like try to become a person again, when like it's just a lot. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. And then it's like, I also don't want to say it's exhausting, because then I feel guilty, because, well, why am I exhausted? Well, because I have a kid. But I chose to have a kid, and I love my kid, and I never want her to feel unwanted or unloved, or like she was a mistake, because she wasn't. So it's such a hard thing to navigate, to like not feel guilty, because we are justified in the way that we feel, because we had to do, I think the extra of it for us is a lot of like the physical and mental of it. Because we were pregnant, our bodies changed, and I think regardless of how much help we have with our kids, for some reason it is just heavier for us. And I don't even know why that is, but it just feels heavier for us. And I never want to like diminish their feelings, because I know that they have it hard too, and they're exhausted too. And like what I will give him is that like when she's up late, he's the one to stay up with her. Like he's the one to stay up with her when like it gets late and she's not going to sleep. Like so there's things that he takes on more than I do, but it is such a more I don't know, I guess emotional and mental thing for us. I feel like
going back to what you had said, I'm not saying my husband doesn't take on as much as responsibility as I do, because he does. He's a great dad to Leah. He spends a lot of time with her and he helps me with her. But sometimes we do need a little more time to ourselves.
A little extra.
Because I think we need a break for like our mental state of mind. Because we do have this pressure of being a mom 100% of the time. And it just doesn't give us time or energy for ourselves or for our significant other. Because I do value him, I love him, and I know he's trying as much as I am. But it's just us being first-time moms, first-time parents. It just takes a huge toll on us.
And then there's also the like at least for me, I feel like I get touched out. Like I love when Ollie, like, she doesn't do it often anymore, but I love when she like cuddles me, or she'll just like randomly jump on me. And it's just like all of my mental capacity goes to being a mom, and it goes to trying to play with her as much. And again, it's that whole struggle of like, I try to play with her, but am I playing with her enough? Am I not playing with her enough? And then it's like by the end of the day, I'm touched out. Like I want time for me. And then like I feel like for me, I don't get it, because like for him, he'll stay up and he'll like watch whatever his shows and he'll wind down. But I'm so exhausted that I don't want to do that. So as soon as she's out, I'm out. So then that makes me feel like I don't ever get time for just me, because I'm also not willing to lose sleep, because I'm so exhausted. And I feel like because I'm so mentally exhausted, I feel so physically exhausted. So it's like how and when do I have that time
for yourself,
to re-energize myself, to replenish myself, my needs, my my energy, when like by the end of it he's like, well you can, she's asleep, you can stay up and like watch things. And I'm like, yeah, but
you're exhausted.
I'm exhausted. I just want to go to sleep. Which is like why most 99% of the time he's the one that's, not that I'm even fully asleep when she's up late, because I'm literally not, because she still wants me. I can still hear her calling for me, or she'll jump on me, or like if she calls me, like I'm not gonna ignore her. So it's like, it's not even that I'm even asleep, I'm just trying to go to sleep. And then for me, it's like I've never been used to staying up late, and like he's always been the one to stay up late. So in my brain, it only makes sense, like, hey, you're used to being up,
just stay up
with her. Like, I don't see the big deal. So like on weekends, on Saturdays he usually will stay up and play until like 2-3 in the morning. And it's like, she's asleep, you could be asleep, I'm asleep. So then I don't feel bad when she wakes up early the next day and he's like, I'm tired. I was like, well, you could have gone to bed at 10 when she went to bed. He's like, well, that's the only time I get. I was like, okay, but that's kind of you could play, like, because he can play during the day. I never say he can't play, and he does. He plays during the day. I was like, so, but you can play during the day.
But you chose to play during the night.
You chose to play during the day, and then you chose to stay up till 3 in the morning to play. So, and then I don't know if that comes off mean, where I'm like, I don't feel bad that you're tired because you chose to stay up until 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, last night he stayed up late, and then Ollie woke up at 7:30 this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you chose to stay up late. You could have been asleep that whole time. You know? So it's hard. It's hard to, like, it's hard to be caring and be, I guess, like, not appreciative, because I appreciate him, but it's also hard to, like, express those feelings when, like, you're just literally tapped out of every emotion because you've just had to deal with work, you've had to deal with a baby, you know, and then it also leaves very little for your partner, which I guess isn't fair to them to some extent, but it's also like, I'm all of these things, and yes, I have to be a partner, but I'm so exhausted.
And then sometimes you don't really have time to re-energize during the day. Like, for example, I get off early from work, and during the time that she's napping, instead of doing what I like to do, I'm awake doing the dishes or cleaning or, you know, doing something around the house because it needs to get done. So I never really have time to myself until my husband is here and he decides to take care of her. Not that he never does, but, you know, like, when he does take the time to play with her and give me that time, it's like, it really wasn't enough time, you know, because then I hear her crying and I'm like, okay, I need to go back to Leah. It's even then, like, like, I don't think there's ever enough time for us to feel like ourselves again. Because in the back of our minds, we're still thinking of them. And we're like, do they need help? Or like, maybe she's not happy because I'm not there, or maybe she's fuzzy because I'm not there, or maybe he needs help because I hear her crying, or, you know, something. It's always in the back of your mind, like, I need to go and help, or I need to go be with them. Like, I try to like, I'll shower and I'll try to let him put her to sleep, and, you know, most of the time it does work out, but then I'll be in the shower thinking, like, oh, I wonder if he was able to put her to sleep, or like, oh, I wonder if he's struggling to put her to sleep, or, you know, like, even then when it's my time to shower, you know, like, my alone time, I'm still thinking of, you know, I'm still in mom mode.
You're still hearing out for her. You're still like, it just never shuts off, like, for us, you know. We're never like, okay, I'm clocked out, because it's like, no, that's not a thing. We don't clock out, you know.
We're moms 24/7. And it's I'm not saying it's sad, but, you know, it does kind of suck because it doesn't really give us time to be ourselves. And I don't know, I feel like that's something we weren't expecting. Or like prepared for. Because you know, we thought, oh, you know, it's not going to be that hard. Or like, you know, like, I'll still have time for myself. But in reality, you don't
have time for yourself,
because you're still in mom mode all the time.
And then it's just it's that same thing where I guess I thought of it being hard in, like, the physical sense, you know, like, oh yeah, I know I'm not gonna sleep very often, as much as I used to, I know, like, things like that. But I guess I didn't expect the emotional or, like, the mental toll that it really takes on you. Like, that, I didn't expect that. And then also, I guess, like, you forget that you become a parent, but, like, life is life and things happen in life. So then on top of, like, relationship stuff, on top of, like, parenting stuff, there's, like, outside world stuff. So, like, that's also so hard to like realize that, like, just because you're having a hard time and, like, you're a parent and you're tired doesn't mean that the world stops. You know, and that's hard too, to like try to keep up with the world and try to keep up with like everybody else. Like it's hard to be like, well, I have to be a mom, I have to be an employee, I have to be a wife, but I also have to be a sister. I also have to be a best friend. I also have to be, well, not a daughter much anymore because I don't speak to my dad, but like whenever he decides to pop in, it's like that whole other emotional aspect of like, now I have to deal with all these emotions that come up with my dad, who like wants to pop in whenever he wants to. So it's like, it's a lot, because I guess you just forget that there's a world out there and that other people need you for other things, you know? So it's hard. It's hard. Being a mom is hard.
It really is. Like, recently, like, my husband and I have been stressing out because we're looking for a home to buy, and you know, there's days where I'm mentally exhausted, I'm stressed out because we can't find anything, and you know, our lease is ending, and you know, sometimes I just want 5 minutes to myself to cry, you know, because it's so stressful. But then I'm like, I have to be a mom, you know, I have to attend to Leah, like, and I really can't take that time. And it sucks, and it just piles on, and it takes a toll on you mentally, and you just end up feeling mentally and physically exhausted. And it's like, when can I get a break? But yeah, it's very hard being a mom and just making that time for yourself and
for everybody else.
For everyone else in your life, you know. Like, there's times where my mom will ask me like, oh, hey, are you coming over this weekend? And I'm just like, I want to, but I also want to be at home and rest and you know, spend that time with my significant other, whether it's doing laundry or going grocery shopping or just staying in at home watching TV. You know, it's like I have to make time for everyone. And I never get to make time for myself. And it sucks. But, you know, as long as you have a supportive significant other that
or a supportive best friend.
Or a supportive best friend, or, you know, a supportive family member, or anyone, you know, that is there for you to vent to them, and, you know, just let those emotions and feelings and everything out with them. I think you'll be good.
I think it's like, mamas, we hear you, we get it, like, it's hard, and you're 1000% valid in your feelings. 1000%, you know. It's so, just know that you're heard, know that you're not alone, know that we get it, we get it 100%. Know that you're allowed to feel exhausted, you're allowed to feel overwhelmed, you're allowed to feel touched out, you're allowed to just feel your feelings, you're allowed and you're valid. And it's okay to have hard days, it's okay to cry, it's okay to scream if you need to, not at anybody, go, you know,
scream into a pillow.
But if you need to go into another room and scream for a second, like, that's okay. And just because you are overwhelmed doesn't mean you're not appreciative of your significant others. You know, just because, like, just because you have a ton of emotions doesn't mean that you're invalidating them, but also you're extremely validated in your feelings. And we're here for everybody.
We get it. You know, it's not easy, and you know, it's okay to take some time to yourself. You know,
don't feel guilty about it. Even though you will, because as much as we say don't feel guilty or like take that time for yourself,
you always
we know it's just
guilty.
Being a mom means you're gonna feel bad about leaving your kid. But that's okay. You know, still do it.
We still need a little bit of time to ourselves, you know, whether it's you know, going out for a walk or leaving your kid with, you know, someone you trust to watch them, and, you know, just going out for a little bit, you know, just for a walk.
Or taking the long way home.
You know, because, yeah, sometimes you just need those 15-20 minutes to yourself, because life itself is hard, and, you know, added on that responsibility of being a mom 24/7 is just another huge responsibility added.
Yeah, it's a responsibility,
and it's
hard.
a huge responsibility, you know. It's hard, you know. You have to being a mom, you know, now you have a responsibility of being a mom, being a wife, a girlfriend, a daughter, a sister, a co-worker, a friend, you know. It's just a lot. A lot.
And for any expecting mamas, we're not trying to scare you, we're just being real. And as hard as it is, it's also so wonderful, and it's also so fulfilling, and it's, you know, but
exciting.
It's just like anything in life. Everything has its pros, and
everything has its ups and downs.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, being a mom is hard, but it's also very rewarding, you know, because
it's what makes it worth it. It's what makes it worth the stress, is to like see your kid smile at you, or like mama hugs, like that's it's the most amazing feeling in the world.
Or just hearing them laugh. It's so amazing.
So as long as your kid is happy and healthy, you're doing an amazing job. I love you, and you're doing an amazing job.
Like I told you before, like I look up to you as a mom, because I feel like you're an amazing mom. Like,
thank you.
That's why I always go to you for advice. Because I'm like, I want to be like him.
Oh no. Thank you. That means literally everything to me, because I'm trying so hard, but you are doing the most amazing job that you can do, and I appreciate you as a mom.
And you know, that goes out to the moms out there too, you know.
We appreciate you.
Or, you know, if you're a second-time mom, third-time mom, you know.
Whether just a mom. And that could be, like, whether you're a mom to, like, your own kid. I know
to your
siblings take on mom roles. So just, you know, if you take care of anybody else in any capacity, you are appreciated, you are loved,
your feelings
are
heard. Valid.
Yes, you're validated. And if you need anybody to vent to, we're here. Go ahead, DM us, email us, whatever you want.
Email us.
We will be there for you.
Yeah.
But thank you guys. I think this was a long one, so I think we're going to just cut it here. Thank you guys so much for listening.
My oopsie of the week was I let Leah in her bassinet, and her books are very close to her bassinet, and I turned around for a second to put something away. I look back and I see she has a book. I got excited. I'm like, oh, she's reading her book, or, you know, just flipping through her book.
Yeah.
And then I look closer. She has her book in her mouth. And I'm like, Leah, what are you doing? And she just turns and smiles, and she's chewing something in her mouth.
Oh, no.
And she's chewing her book.
Kids are fast. Like, they're fast.
Yeah, they are.
My oopsie, not of this week. This was kind of an old one, but there's this one time when Ollie was smaller, I was taking her a bath in the kitchen sink. And because I had started, like, it was a normal thing to, like, start taking her baths in the sink because it was just easier. I so I had her own dish soap, and I wasn't looking, I was just bathing her. I think she was distracting me, and I just reached and I pumped, and then I put it on her head, and then I was just like, why does this not smell like anything? And then I realized that I had gotten her dish soap, her bottle soap, and I had cleaned her head with it. So then I just rinsed it off, and then I got her shampoo, which was above it, and then I showered her again. But I accidentally showered Ollie with dish soap one time.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's it for this week.
I hope you guys liked it. And again, if there's any moms that need to vent or want to vent to us, we're here to listen to your guys' story. But yeah, we hope you liked this episode, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.